Hey, Cohort B kids, thanks for getting started with our notes yesterday. Yes, we did start our new unit all about erosion and deposition. So hopefully your note taking went well yesterday. Today I just have a short-ish, hopefully, video for you on weathering, erosion, and deposition. We're going to get a little bit more detailed about what each of these means, provide some examples, and then I want you guys to do a quick sorting activity as part of your homework for today. So you can go ahead and title the next page in your notebook, Weathering, Erosion, and Deposition. And again, with any of the videos, the reason why I make it a video is so you can pause it. So if I'm moving a little too quick, you can always just pause the video, catch up with the notes, and then hit play again. So the first one we're going to tackle is weathering. So I'm going to scooch the camera down a little bit so we can make some more room for this. So weathering is going to be kind of the breaking down of rock on Earth's surface. Sorry, I'm moving this a little to the side. This is new to me today, so we're trying something new. Here we go. Weathering. Again, this is the breaking down, and that's kind of the key phrase in there. So actually, as a fifth grade note taker, I'm actually going to put a square around that phrase, breaking down, because that tells me that that is weathering, the breaking down of rock on Earth's surface. Now, I like to think of this one as a hammer. That's going to be chipping away at bigger pieces of rock into smaller pieces of rock. So one way that this happens is actually about happening this year. It's when water freezes. So freezing H2O, which is short for water. What happens if there's a nice rock right here and it's got a little crack in it, sometimes water gets in this rock, in this crack, and when water freezes, it expands and actually pushes the rock apart. So that's one way that rock can be broken down. Now another way that that can happen is with tree roots. Tree roots can actually push apart rock as well. I'm going to draw a nice little tree over here, and the roots into the ground. And when they dig into the ground, oh boy, that looks great. They can actually break apart the rock. Okay? They're very, very, very strong. If you've ever seen a little plant growing out of a crack in a sidewalk, it shows you how strong they really are. Now, weathering, again, breaking down of things. This is usually the first step in this three-step process of weathering, erosion, and deposition. I'm actually going to do a little arrow to show the next step. The next step is erosion. And this is a word that we went over yesterday in our vocabulary. This is the movement of that weathered material from one place to another. Of weathered material or sediment, if you want to use another vocab word, from one place to another. Ooh, that one's a little longer. So again, if I'm writing a little too fast, you can always pause the video in order for you to catch up. Now, the key word in this one is movement. I'm going to throw a box on that one as well. The movement of weathered material. So if it's moving, it's going to be erosion. Now, an example of this is kind of what we talked about yesterday. When air or wind, water, and glaciers can all move material, right? So usually, maybe we're drawing the Crow River, right? As water flows down, it's carrying those sediments, right? Those little dots, those little particles down the river, the movement. And now the last step in our little notes for today, I told you they go quick. Our last step is weathering. And again, or I'm sorry, not weathering, deposition. Ooh, come on now, Miss O, get it together. Deposition. This is the word that's tough to pronounce, so make sure you practice saying that one at home. Deposition. This is the dropping off. This is where stuff ends up, the dropping off of sediments in a new place. So the step is weathered and then gets eroded down the river has to go someplace. It has to end up someplace, and that is called a deposition, wherever it ends up. Now, my key phrase in this one would be dropping off. Dropping off. Now, a good example of this one is a phrase you probably heard last year, and that is the Mississippi, Mississippi. I have to sing the song every time I spell it. The Mississippi Delta. So as the sediments collect and they move down the Mississippi, it gets really big, and lots of sand and sediment and even garbage are moving down the river. Eventually, it's going to hit the ocean. And as soon as it hits the ocean, it actually slows down and suspends itself. And it actually can build up into these kind of finger-like, almost triangle type places. And so this is the Mississippi Delta. So Mississippi can actually grow, or excuse me, Louisiana can actually grow in size because of this delta. Oh, kind of crazy. Now, those are going to be your notes for today. I am actually going to switch over to my screen view so that way I can explain the work for you today. All right, fifth graders, I actually have to make a separate video because I can't switch over to my screencast. So in the second video, I will show you how to do your sorting activity. It's pretty easy. So hopefully you don't even need the instructions, but they are there for you. So it's just a quick sorting activity. You will definitely want to use the notes you just took. I will post a picture of these as well so you can kind of see a clearer picture of it, hopefully, than our camera. So thank you.